Hey, welcome back to Bishop's Garage. Today I'm going to be working on CV joints on the bus. That's going to be some fun and a challenge. Hopefully you can follow along, get something out of this that might help you in your own wrenching. And, well, let's get to it. Some of the things we're going to need for our CV joint replacement today. Actually, the joints in the boots are okay on the passenger side of the bus. On the driver's side of the bus, for apparently the last 6 years or so, the boot's been bad on the outboard. The inboard boot's been okay, but since I'm taking the axle apart, I may as well replace both of those boots. So these are the parts we're going to need. I'm going to go ahead and replace the outside CV joint since that's been actually... All right, someone's getting on the onions. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and replace the outside CV joint since that boot's been, it's been gone for years. Or, well, torn apart for years. As soon as those tear apart, all of the grease just leaks out onto the ground. And then you get moisture in there, and then the CV joint starts rusting. So, this is what that looks like up close. This is the new one, not packed with grease. That will be full by the time I'm done. We have some new bolts in case. We have some lock washers here and a new clamp. At least that's for one of the boots. The other boot just came with a boot. There's two boots. These will be filled up with grease before they're put on. And then the clamp goes around this indent here. But apparently they just sent me the boot and none of the other stuff. That's fine. We'll make it. All right. And here we have our special 12 star. This is a 12 point. I can't really focus on this. It's called an M8. Instead of being a normal Allen wrench, it's got 12 points. That's what's needed for removing the old ones. Apparently the new ones, they decided to send me actual Allen wrench ones here. Actual Allen wrench ones. Yep. We have our Moog 3301 CV joint grease. Lots of good rubber gloves. You know, once you use rubber gloves when you're working on a car and you can stand having the odd tactile feeling, you don't go back because, you know, washing your mitts after you've done car work can be a real pain in the butt. All right, and then I have a bunch of crappy ones that are super thin that I would just go through dozens of those. So hopefully we can get through most of it with just those. So that's kind of a review of the parts we're going to need. A couple of the tools. Should be a piece of cake. And once we get the axle off, we're going to need a little pair of pliers like this that will allow us to pull that little C-clip off the end of the axle so we can slip off the old CV joint. Welcome back. For starters, all right, this is an M8. It's a 12-pointed star here. I think I may have to clean some of this out here. Yeah, it'll wiggle in there. I need to get some brake cleaner. Okay, here's our CV joint. Or at least here's our boot. You can kind of see that the boot's pretty trashed. There's no more grease in there. It's probably been run like that for a long time. So we're going to use some brake clean here and hit each one of these nuts. Phew, that's smelly. Wow. All right, let's see if we can get this in here any better. Oh yeah, that'll be a lot better. So this is the outboard side. This is the one where I'm going to replace the joint itself here and the boot. These are normally torqued at 25 foot-pounds. We'll see how much it takes to get it off of here. Well, that was easier than expected. So there's 6 bolts on this side. There's 6 on this side over here. You can see this one up here. This boot is okay, but I'm going to replace it anyway since I'm taking the whole axle off. All right, let's keep taking this off of here. Something you'll notice between these 2 bolts here, there's this plate. That's kind of like a torque washer. What it does is when you tighten these down, each one of the bolts kind of relies on the next bolt over to keep it from vibrating out of the hole that it's been torqued down into. This is my first time removing any one of these. Watched a few videos. There's quite a few out there actually with people removing these CV joints and replacing their boots. Pretty common thing. And on a lot of vehicles, it's the same as the VW bus here, or Bug. They all kind of work the same. I'm sure their torque specs are going to be, mileage may vary adjustment. I'm going to take all of these almost all the way out. That way at least I've got it kind of holding the axle in place while I undo that one. So There we go. Driver's side axle is out. All right, well, here you can certainly see that the boot has deteriorated a lot. Not sure if you can see down in there, but there really is no grease left in there at all. It is really dry. It is super, super dry. This boot looks okay, but looks like it doesn't have its clamp. This boot here is okay. Looks like it's not super greased up, but I'm gonna go ahead and clean all that up. I'm gonna replace this one here since the boot's been ruptured for a long time. Man, it's super tough to do, but it's on there. All right, so now that we're super messy and greasy everywhere, let's clean this up a little bit before we manhandle this back into place. Well, okay, so I'm getting ready to install, so I'm cleaning out the old cup that's on the transmission side. All right. And I will clean out the one on the driver's side, or outboard side. And we'll put fresh grease in those. Come up here. All right, now let's grab our axle. All right, it helps to line the boot up with the nuts a bit. So I've used my electric drill here to cinch them all down. Now I need to actually torque them to 25 foot-pounds. And if you're like me, you have a small one like this for torquing inch-pounds. So dial that thing to 300 inch-pounds and that'll give you your 25 foot-pounds. All right. Okay. That's how you do a CV. All right, so now I'm gonna kind of clean some of this off. Really what I need to do is maybe come in here with some brake cleaner. Last thing we need to do is put our seals, or our zip ties on there, so we're all sealed up. Okay, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and clean this up and put a couple zip ties on there, one around this boot, the other one around that boot, and we'll call it good. Well, thanks for coming by while I replaced my CV joint and boot, 2 boots. Just going to do a little bit of cleanup here. Man, doing those boot sets, the grease is everywhere. Then I got to wash my hands like 80,000 times to get the smell off, even when wearing gloves. You know, I felt like I told you guys there was only like 10 tools, and I don't know why I'm putting away 30 tools. So next time we're going to be doing rear brakes. So we'll do wheel cylinders, brake shoes, cup bearings, springs, all the good stuff. Should be all done. Alright, well thanks for coming by, having fun with me. That's what I learn and you learn. Or you're just here to confirm what you already knew. Thanks. Thanks for coming by. If you like what you've seen, if you want to see more, just click subscribe, leave me a comment. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer anything. And thanks for coming by. Stay safe. You're actually sitting through all the credits. Nice. I'll have to make sure I put some sort of good Easter egg at the end. With all this COVID, you ever think you would go through this many gloves? Yeah. Boy, and you know that CV grease is just... Boy, it's got a smell to it. Oh. Oh. Yeah, one of the handiest little tools you'll ever want to get. It's one of these clippy things. The particular one I got is from Vice Grip. I got it off Amazon probably for 10 or 20 bucks. Comes with a number of
Have you ever caught the wind and learned to fly? I look upon our injured world and I want to cry. We've lost our ancient ways and our vision blurred. closely, the oak king's calling. The woodlands come, his trees are falling. Hear his words, heed our warning. Oh, feel his rage in the thunder roaring. I think I could turn and live with the animals. They're so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. They don't sweat and whine about their condition. They don't lay awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They don't make me sit discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied. Not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or industrious over the whole earth.
Try not to. Okay. Thanks for coming by again. Take care, be safe. Wash your hands, like something back. Good job.